Welcome back to the Crochet Credits with my friends at yarnspirations.com. I'm your host Mikey. We have two patterns in one in today's tutorial. This particular one is either the Crochet Dragons Hoard dice bag. A hoard bag in lore is something that people that do role play with. It's a little cute little bag, so if you have somebody that does role playing, gaming, this is a really cute accessory. And then they have a larger version right here. This version here is using Aunt Lydia's classic thread. It's using just one ball in order to make this happen, and the color that you see is called Bowl of Cherries. This version here is called the Crochet Dragons Hoard bag. It's a much bigger bag, and this one is what I'm going to be demonstrating on camera is Bernat Maker Splash. So it changes color on its own. I love this yarn. This is one of my ultimate favorite yarns of all time, is the Bernat Maker series. And I'm going to be demonstrating all this. The instructions are identical to each other. There's just a difference of the hook size and the yarn. So this one is 1.5 millimeter, a US 7, pretty much a really small hook. And this one here is a 5.5 millimeter size eye. In order to make this happen, you'll need 2 balls of Bernat Maker Splash in order to make that happen as well. So without further ado, we're going to get ourselves right into the instructions. We're going to start and let's begin to play. Let's do it. So as we move to page number 2, you're going to notice that there's a crochet diagram. You can see that the chain 2s are kind of really close to the half double crochets. This means to me when I see this is that it does not count as a stitch. Chain 2 does not count as a stitch. So I could tell that by the diagram, but I just glanced over to see that as well. You'll notice that the difference of the layout as well. Using Yarnspirations divides the pattern into 3, and now it's only 2 columns instead. So it makes it a little bit more interesting, and I like the font that they're using as well. So let's grab our crochet hook and let's play. With your crochet hook, I need you to create a slip knot, and we're going to begin by chaining 3. So 1, 2, 3, and ready for round number 1. Okay, let's begin. 3rd chain from the hook, which is the starting chain. You're going to place 7 half double crochet into that. So we have 1 and 2 it's 3. Noticing that I'm putting the this tail around it so it gets stuck underneath. So I got 4, 5, 6, and 7. I had a crocheter the other day asked when we're doing these starting chains, can we substitute with a magic circle or an adjustable ring? Absolutely, that's a personal call. So make sure that you slip stitch to the top of the first, the 7th one away. So just count the tops, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So just slip stitch to the 7th one. And that will make sure that you get started properly. Let's get rid of our tail end right now. It'll be easier. You can just cut it down if you went over top of it. If you didn't, just make sure you weave it in with a tapestry needle. Let's begin round number 2. So as I mentioned in the intro, chain 2 does not count as a stitch. You're just going to chain 2, just ignore it. This is going to help fill in the holes so that you don't get a gap in between each of the rounds. Each one of the 7 will have 2 half double crochet in it. So we have 1 and 2. The stitch counts are on the pattern if you need that as well. So the next one is 1 half double crochet and 2. Please put 2 half double crochet in each of the stitches all the way around. So I'm about to give you a tip. The last one should have 2 in here. See this? This is part of the start. You can do 2 things here. You don't want to change the stitch counts, but what you could do is that you could put a 2 together in the last one and this one here to hide that space. So how you would do that, because you don't want to change the tops of the stitch counts. So you just wrap the hook going into the one you're supposed to, and instead of yarning over, pulling it through to finish, and then ending up with this empty one right here, just yarn over, go into the joining. This is a joining space, pull through, and then pull through all 5 loops. And so the last stitch then spanned the last one, but it's also hit that gapping space. So when you go to pull it together with joining it to the top of the first half double crochet, is that it fills in that space so that you don't ever end up having a gap. So that's a little tip for you today. Let's begin round number 3. Round number 3. chain 2. Yes, that's right, does not count as a stitch. And in the first one of the join, it's just going to be 1 half double crochet by itself. So I'm going to give you the information to allow you to do quick repeats all the way around. So the next one will have 2 half double crochets in it. Okay, so the repeat to go all the way around this round is that there's going to be 1 into the next one, and then 2 into the one after that. Okay, so just remember 1 and then 2, and complete that around for round number 3, and I'll join you at the end of the round. So to finish up this round, I have to just put one more in here and join it, but see that space? I'm going to do a 2 together half double crochet to take this one and this one, and so it shares the same top stitch, so we never change the counts of the tops. So it only still has 1 at the top, and then we can just join to the first half double crochet. So that's the last time I'm going to show you that little technique, but you see there's no gapping spaces, and I think it's great. Let's move on to round number 4. Round number 4, chain up 2, put in a half double crochet in the same stitch as the join, and then the next one is also going to be a half double crochet by itself, and then the next one has 2. And let me give you a little tip here that I think will be really helpful for you, is that when you're doing these expansions, they're always in the same location. So when you look at it, you're going to have the next 2 by itself, 1 and 2. See, this is the second one of this grouping of 2, so it's always the second one that's going to have that expansion. So if you don't necessarily want to count, and you can see that, it will be pretty easy for you to do. So the next one is by itself, so 2 by itself. Okay, so 2 in a row, 2 into the next one, which is the second one, of this grouping of 2 below. Please repeat this all the way around for round number 4. At the end of number 4, if your stitch counts are right, the last one has 2. I'm doing my special technique that I demonstrated already before to fill in that space so that I still end up with my 2 in the end, and then I join it to the top of the first half double crochet. Let's move on to round number 5. Round number 5, chain 2. The first 3 in a row will be a half double crochet by itself. So we have 1, and then 2, and 3, and then 2 into the next one. So do you see that it's the second one of the grouping of 2 below? If you can see it, you won't have to count as much. Okay, so the repeat around is 3 by itself, 2 into the next, and I'll see you at the end of round number 5. So at the end of round number 5, if you're keeping the counts, it's got 2 into the same one. Just doing my special technique to make sure I don't have a gap, and then join to the first half double crochet. Let's move on to round number 6. Round number 6, chain 2. The first 4 in a row will be by itself. Use that the first one is the same one as the join, and then continue along. So we've got 2 by itself, 3 by itself, and 4. And the next one has 2 into the same one. Okay, so the repeat for this round, number 6, is 4 by itself, 2 into the next. I'll see you at the end of the round. At the end of number 6, if your counts are right, it should be 2 into the last. I'll do my special technique. Let me know in the comments if that was helpful for you or you just think it's crazy. So we'll join it and move on to round number 7. Round number 7, chain 2. The first 5 in a row, starting with the first one with the join, is going to be a half double crochet by itself. So this is 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then 2 into the next. Okay, so the repeat is 5 by itself, 2 into the next. I'll see you at the end of the round number 7. Last one, if your counts are right, 2 into the same one. I'll do my special technique. And join to the first half double crochet. Let's move on now to round number 8. Round number 8, chain 2. Starting with the first one of the join, 6 half double crochets in a row. So 6 by itself. So this is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So 6 and then 2 into the next. So 6 by itself, 2 into the next will take you for round number 8. I'll see you at the end of the round. End of round number 8, 2 into the same one if you're keeping your counts. I'm just doing my technique and join to the top of the first half double crochet. Let's move on to round number 9. Round number 9, chain 2 does not count as a stitch. The first 7, starting with the same stitch as the join, are going to be a half double crochet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and then 2 into the next. Okay, so round number 9 is 7 in a row and then 2 into the next. Please do this for round number 9. End of round number 9, last stitch has 2 into the same one. Doing my little technique and join to the first half double crochet. Okay, let's begin round number 10. Number 10, chain 2 counts as nothing, it's just a builder, and starting in the first one of the join, the next 8 in a row are half double crochet by itself. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And then the next one has 2 into the same one. Okay, so the repeat then for this round is 8 by itself, 2 into the next, and I'll see you at the end of number 10. Round number 10, the end, there's 2 into the same one. I'll do my little technique and then join to the top of the first half double crochet. Let's move on to round number 11. Round number 11 is our last growth round as the entire bag is coming to a conclusion for the size. And so you're going to chain 2, and the next 9 in a row will each be a half double crochet and then 2 into the next. So we have 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, and then 2 into the next. Okay, and that's your repeat all the way around. So 9 by itself and 2 into the next, and please do this all the way around for round number 11. Finishing up round number 11, 2 into the same last stitch. I'll do my little technique and join to the first half double crochet. We're now moving on to round number 12, and we're moving on to page number 3 in the pattern. Round number 12, we're going to be using the back loops only to create the bottom of the bag to have a bend. I'm going to show you a little alternative right now. So it says to chain 3, which will count as a double crochet, but I don't want that. I want to continue to keep this edge nice and tight. So I'm just going to chain only 1, just give it a bit of slack, and then in the same one of the join, you're going to do a back loop only double crochet. So you see that there's 2 lines when it comes to the stitches. So when you go through both, it's a stitch. You go through the first one, it's a front loop. You go through the second one, the one that's away from you is the back loop. So starting in the first one right here, go into the back loop all the way around. Okay, so it's gonna be a double crochet. Okay, so then go into your next one. So wrap, back loop only, pull through 2 and 2. And you do this all the way around. So there's no growth at all. We want the project to have this bend that will naturally happen as a result of using the back loops. Please do round number 12, and I'll be right back. At the end of number 12, you're just going to continue around and just double crochet into the back loops only. I'm not going to do that technique. I'm just going to just join into the top of the first the first double crochet. Okay, so we're now going to move on to round number 13, and 13 is a setup row that we need, and we'll start the scales, but it's going to be rounds number 14 and 15 that will be the repeat throughout the whole thing until we get to a certain size. So let's begin round number 13. So let's begin the 13th round. We're going to start with making our first set of scales all the way around, of course. So we're going to start off by chaining 4, which will count as a treble. We need that so we can reach a distance. The one that we are attached to, okay, ignore the chain one that I had you do, just use the double crochet, and you were going to just start double crocheting on the front post going down towards the bottom of the bag. And so I just like to pinch it and turn it in a way that it's easier for me to line those up. So I have one, see how I isolate and kind of pull it out, and 2, 3, and 4. So that gives you a total count of 5 stitches that are going down. So the chain 4 counted as a treble and the 4 double crochet. You're going to chain up 1, and you were going to turn the project like this. Just completely turn it around and get the next post that is in a row right here, and you're going to start working up the post. So just again on the front post only, just do 4 double crochet. So just isolate it first, then use your fingers and pinch it to hold that so you can see it, and it's going to be 4 double crochets going up. So we have 1, 2, 3, and 4. But you're not done. There's 5 stitches all together. The last one is a treble, so wrap that hook twice and treble your last one so that it can reach the distance to the next scale. The next scale is the 6th stitch away. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. It's right here. And so to do this is that you're just going to reach over with the treble. So wrap the hook twice to the 6th one away. So skipping 5 and start and just pick it up, isolate it, turn it in a way that makes sense for you, and do your treble around that post. And then 4 more double crochet to give you a total count of 5 stitches. Okay, so I have 5. So it's 1 treble, 4 doubles, chain 1, turn the project the other way, and now isolate the next post and start double crocheting. So just pick it up out of the project and isolate it and do 4 double crochets going up. And what's the 5th stitch? Yeah, that's right, it's a treble, because you need it to stretch. Okay, so how many stitches are you going to skip? That's right, it's 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Go to your 6th, reach on over to the 6th one away with the treble, isolate it, turn it in a way that is helpful for you. So 1 treble, 4 doubles, and go down the post. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So you got a total of 5 altogether. 1 treble, 4 doubles, chain 1, turn the project, and then use the next post. You can isolate it out, use your fingers to pinch it to hold it, and do 4 doubles going up. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then the last one has to be a treble to make sure it can stretch to the next scale. Okay, and so you're going to continue around like that. So skipping 5, scale going down, chain 1, scale going up. So 1 treble, 4 doubles going down, chain 1, 4 doubles, and then 1 treble. And you're going to continue around, and you're going to notice that it's lifting off. That's going to be fixed in the next round, and I'll show you when we get there. So this is round number 13. See you at the end of the round. So after the last scale is in on round number 13, you still have 5 that you can skip, and then you get to the first scale. But what we want to do is that we want to slip stitch to the top of the first chain 4, but when we do so, we need to go through the middle one of the grouping of 5 that we have to hold the scales back. See how they're all lifting off? We're going to do in the next round number 14 and 15, which is the repeat. 14 pins them back so that you don't have them standing off like that. So when you go to slip stitch, you're going to go to the top of the chain 4 here, but you're not done. You're going to go to the middle one of the double crochet here, and when you slip stitch, you're pulling it through so that holds that back just like this, and that's where we're going to begin our journey for 14 and 15 for the repeat, for the amount of repeats that we need to do. When you do round number 14, what's going to happen is that we're going to pin these back. So you're going to see that these are bridged out like this, and that you see the top edge. There's 5 double crochets that are in the top edge, just like this. And so we have the spaces in between that have been created for the scales as well. When you start at round number 14, you're going to chain 3. And in the same one that you did the slip stitch through, okay, you're going to double crochet, which is going to hold that bridge back in between as well. Okay, so just have to ignore the scales. Okay, so you see that there's a bridge space between, so there's 2 double crochets here, and so you're just going to use the you're just going to use those double crochets to get the first part in. Okay, so remember there's a chain 4 here, so I want to make sure I'm only using the double crochets itself. So just move the bridging forward out of the way so you can just access the double crochet row. So we have 1, and once you get the first one, the second one becomes really quite obvious where it is. So there's 2 in a row. Come into the center of your scale, there's 1 into there, and just focus on the first 2 coming out of this. Okay, do you see it? So 1 and 2, it's the tops of these. So if you peel it back, it's the tops, 1 and 2. Okay, so we're going to double crochet into those 2. So we have 1 and 2. So the third stitch here of the grouping of 5, we want to capture the bridge and go right underneath this and through. So you're going to double crochet twice. So you're going to go into that top of that one plus underneath the bridge to secure that, to hold those back. So there's 2 double crochets, and these 2 double crochets that are sharing the same stitch become the center point of the next scale when we do this on round number 15. So this here starts another grouping of 5. So just pull it back. Okay, you can see the double crochets that are there, and you were just going to double crochet into each of those. So it's the one directly after this one. So you got 2 in a row, do the center point, and then the next 2 after the scale. And so there's your grouping of 5 that you had before. Remember when we skipped 5. And now the next one is the third one. So we want to capture underneath the bridge of the scales, capturing all of it, and double crochet twice. And do you see it's holding the scale back versus this? Okay, so let's do one more repeat. So the next 2 in a row, just peel it back, get the scale out of your way, and do the next 2. Okay, the third one is the middle of the scale. The next 2 are the next 2, and behind, get the scale out of the way so you're not interfering with it. And then the third one is the bridge here. So just go underneath there to capture it, and into that one, and put 2 double crochet in there, and that will hold the edges of the scale open like that. Please do this all the way around for round number 14. So just completing all the way around, and remember we started out with the 2 double crochets. Here's my tip for you, because I screwed up myself, is that do make sure that you have the 2 going in between the scales. I accidentally just did 1 and 1 because I was daydreaming. So you can't go up and down that if there's only 1. So make sure you do get 2. At the end of this, after you've gone through the center and the 2, the next one would then have gone in between, which were there, and we're just going to slip stitch to the top of the first chain 3 that we started with. We're now going to begin round number 15. Round number 15, we're going to start with another set of scales right where we're sitting. So we're going to start just like you had before. The only difference is that these are now sharing the same stitch, which doesn't make a difference at all. So you're going to chain 4, which is your first treble, and then coming down the post, okay, and there's going to be 4 double crochet. Again, turn your project, isolate that post. It'll make your life a lot easier. Okay, so the treble, which is the chain 4 plus the 4 double crochet, gives you 5, chain 1, and turn the project in the other direction and come up the other post. And do your 4 going up first, 4 double crochet. It helps if you actually can wrap the damn hook. So we have 1, 2, 3, and 4. And the 5th one has to be a treble so it can reach. Okay, so you actually technically have to still skip 5, which we did before, but if you look for the center where these 2 are, it's always the 1st and the 2nd one that are used for the scales. So we start by reaching over to the 1st one, which is the 6th one away, and you're going to treble the 1st one to reach. And then you are going to put 4 double crochets going down. So we have 1, 2, 3, and 4. Chain 1, turn it, and get the other one that is sharing the same stitch, and do 4 double crochets going up. So once you isolate it, pinch it. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and the last one has to be a treble so it can stretch. Okay, so then turn it back. So you're going to skip 5, but if you look for where they're sharing, you reach on over and do your treble, and then 4 double crochet, chain 1, and then 4 doubles going up and treble, and keep on doing this around for round number 15, and I'll be right back. I'm at the end of number 15, and I've got my last treble in, and so you still have the 5 that you'll skip, but you're just going to worry about just slip stitching it to the top of the first scale. But what else do you need to do? Yeah, you need to get ready for that next round. So it's the middle one of the grouping of 5 that you were going to slip stitch through. So I'm just checking. And if it helps you to know, now that you've established where the single one or where the double is in this, it's the same stitch. Okay, so just coming on through and capture it all into that. So you can scroll back in the video chapters, it's in the video description as well as in the pinned comment, to be able to go back to round number 14 and 15. You need to do rounds number 14 and 15 a total of 7 more times. So 14 and 15, and then 14, 15, 14, 15, 14, 15, 14, 15, 14, 15, and 14, 15, and that will take you to the end of the 29th round, and then we're going to pick up from there. So just scroll on back. It's exactly how you want to start round number 14 again, and it will pin back these then into position, and we'll take it from standing off to pinning down. I'll see you at the end of round number 29, and scroll back to 14 and 15 if you need a recap. So I'm back a few hours later, but just a few seconds in your time, and you should be able to count 8 of these scales. So I count sideways, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So I'm going to recommend you to do something at the end that is not in the pattern. And what I'm going to recommend is that when you attach to the beginning, go into the middle one here, as if you're about to start a new section of scaling, and slip stitch like this. So I'm going to show you something in the next round that is not in the pattern, so you'll have to decide what you like. And I just feel like because we've been pinning down all the time and making it sit flat, I think the next row we should pin down as well to make sure that we get it so it looks consistent. So that's not in the pattern, and that's just my experience. And we're going to begin round number 30 next. Let's begin round number 30. We've already slip stitched and we pinned down this so it's attached to there so that this will stay flat. So I'm going to chain 2 once again, like we did before with half double crochet. So now what we're going to do is that there's 3 half double crochets that have to go in this side of the scale and then the other side, but obviously on the other row that you're hiding. So you just got to peel it back just to see it. So you're just going to go and you're going to do 3 half double crochet. So we have 1 and 2. And before, what we were doing is once we got the 2 in, we went to the center, but we want to go to the top of this post. This one's sitting on that post, and we want to use the top of that post as well. You just may have to peel stuff back in order to do that. Okay, once that's done, you're going to go to the other post where this is sitting on top of. Just peel it back if you don't see it. Okay, it's actually right there. Okay, so we have 1, and 2, and 3. So the next one is actually the center here. So what they're saying is to use this stitch, but I'm saying to you, capture this, bridge it in, and just pin back the final. So going underneath that bridge and into that other double crochet and make that as a half double crochet. And what that will do is we'll pin back the final one. So as you start a new section again, it's the first 3 are going to each be a half double crochet. So we have 1, 2, and 3. It gets easier the more you do it. And then you got the 3 on the other side. So follow it up, you can see it. It's actually the very next stitch. So 1, 2, and 3. And then the next one is the middle. So again, just go underneath the bridge of the scale into that same one in there and trap them both together and half double crochet, and that will hold that scale back. So I need you to do this all the way around for round number 30. So I'm just finishing up this round, and let me know if that tip was helpful for you to pin the scales back. I just think it just makes sense to me, but who knows. Okay, so we're just finishing up this round, and we've already pinned the scale back by the slip stitch when we started this. And now we're going to just slip stitch to the top of the first half double crochet, just like that. So we're now going to do rounds number 31 and 32. 31 and 32, now that we've got everything established, it's nothing to worry about, no counting. Just chain 2 doesn't count as anything, and just slam in 1 half double crochet in each stitch all the way around. Once you do it, join it, and then do it again. So rounds number 31 and 32 are half double crochet rounds, and I'll be right back in a moment. I'm now on the end of the 32nd round. Just for transparency reasons, I am going to cut my yarn here. You do not need to unless you feel you have to, but I am almost out of my yarn. So what I'm going to do is switch over to my new yarn ball as I begin round number 33. Let's begin round number 33. I'm just attaching some new yarn here to where I had where the join is, and I just already have it on the hook, and I'm just going to join with a slip stitch to begin. Okay, so if you're not joining new yarn, just do what I'm about to do. So you're going to chain 2, and then in the first 2, which includes the one of the join, it's going to be a half double crochet. So we have 1, and the next one is 2, and then you need to create spaces because for the tie of the bag. So you're going to chain 1, skip the next one, half double crochet the next. Okay, and then you're going to chain 1, skip 1, and then you're going to half double crochet the next 4. So we have 1, 2, 3, and 4. So let's do this again, the same combination. So we're going to chain 1, skip 1, half double crochet the next, chain 1, skip 1, and half double crochet the next 4. So we have 1, 2, 3, and 4. And you're going to do this all the way around. You're going to end up that there's 2 stitches left that you'll do because this is counting as the 4, this beginning. I'll see you at the end of this round, number 33. So I'm just coming all the way back around, and I actually have an extra 2 stitches, and I don't know why, but you know what? I'm not going to worry about it. So, you know, there are bigger things to worry about. So I'm just going to put an extra one here, chain 1, skip 1, and then just jump into the last one here. You know what? When it doesn't work out, you just do it. Okay, so I'll just have to string it up a little differently. So just attach it to the beginning and attach it to the beginning, half double crochet. And we're going to continue on because we're at the end. It won't matter so much. So let's begin number 34. Number 34, chain up 2, And you're going to half double crochet in every stitch, and if it's a chain 1, just add it right into the chain 1. Okay, and you're going to do that around. So this is a chain 1, just go right into the space. Next one's a half double crochet. Next one's a chain 1, so go right into the space, and so on. So please just half double crochet in every stitch or space all the way around. I'll see you at the end of round number 34. So I'm coming all the way back around, and I'm just going to finish off, and I'm just going to slip stitch it to the top of the first half double crochet. So we have one more round to conclude the body of the bag, and that's number 35 next. Now we're about to do a reverse single crochet or a crab stitch. Some people don't like it. If you don't like it, just chain 1 and do a single crochet around. But if you like to do it the way the pattern is, which I think is good, is that you're just going to chain 1, and then you were going to go into the one before the slip stitch. Okay, right here. So you're going to go in, yarn over, pull through, and pull through 2. And after 3 stitches, you'll see what the reverse single crochet can do. So come into the one before, so you're going backwards. So scoop it and pull through. And it creates a rope kind of look all the way around the top. You see that? So reverse single crochet yourself all the way around. I'm going to show you how to finish something like this, because the way that you finish it off with the tapestry needle makes a huge difference because of the way the stitch is roping just like that. I'll be back at the end of the round. So I'm coming all the way around, and I just doing my reverse single crochet, and I'm coming to the one that we had the join with, and this is where I want you to stop. So what I'm going to do before we continue is that I want to snip my yarn, and if I do a slip stitch with my hook, what happens is that it looks like sin. So I'm just going to pull up on a loop like this and get rid of that loop out, and just put this onto a tapestry needle. And I want you to just feed it as if you were going to go into the next stitch, but from the inside of the bag. Okay, so from the opposite side. And what you're going to do is that you're going to pull that so it looks like it belongs, other than the color differential. So then we're going to turn it to the back side, and we're going to go back in the direction from which we just came. This yarn is like a tube-like structure, so you just want to take your time in weaving in your ends. Okay, and when I pulled the first time, I want to make sure when I pull, because it's going to be kind of there, I just want to make sure that I don't pull to the point where I'm changing the shape of the bag. And I want to go back and forth a total of 3 times. If you want to tie a knot anywhere, just keep it on the inside of your bag. Any loose ends that you did have in the body of the bag, just weave them back and forth inside the project a total of 3 times on the inside of the bag as well. And we're going to move on in the project and carry on. So from a bird's eye view, it would look like this. Okay, so it's got kind of a rounded bottom, but once you start opening it up, it's got a really nice look to this bag. So let's move on in the pattern. We're going to create the drawstring next, and just got to chain 91. Okay, and so just do that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, go all the way to 91, maybe back here in a moment. Now that I have 91 on here, I'm going to go second chain from the hook. So 1 and 2, get the back hump of the chain because I think it will look better for you, and just single crochet yourself all the way across your chain, continuing on the back hump all the way across. And I'll see you at the other side in a moment. Okay, once you're at the very end, that's it. So you're going to want to weave in your ends with your tapestry needle. I've already shown you how to do that. And it says to tie a knot about 1 inch in and onto itself, but I would not do that until you feed the bag first and then do it when it's in place. So weave in your ends, and we're going to move on to the strap next. So let's move on to the strap. You're going to chain a total of 6. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then you're just going to do second chain from the hook. So 1 and 2, I always get the back hump of the chain. I think it looks nicer, but if you don't want to, that's up to you. So you're just going to single crochet yourself back. So you will only have a total of 5 single crochets across, and you need to just go back and forth until it measures approximately 30 inches, or as long as you want. For this particular sample of the Bernat maker, you have a lot of yarn left over that you can make it longer without any problem. So you're just going to turn your work, chain 1 and 1 single crochet in the same one as the beginning, and then in the other 4. So you're just going to go back and forth, no stress, and just get it until it's approximately 30 inches long, and meet me back here in a moment. Once you have approximately 30 inches done for the larger size bag, you're now going to do the border. So do not fasten this off, just chain 1 and place in 2 single crochet into the first one, and you'll complete the other crochet you need when you come back around. So just simply come across, and what I want you to do the most is pay attention to the length of the stitches that are across. So when you go down through the side of it, you want the same distance. So in the last stitch, just put in 3 single crochet to turn the corner. So consistently coming down the side, look at the distance of the spacing of those stitches and match it. So just coming into the sides and just start single crocheting down the side. If it starts to ruffle out on you, it means that you're being too generous with the stitches. The stitches are too close together. But if it's starting to buckle and pulling in like this, it means that you're jumping too quickly. And so you gotta just put a little more stitches in. So you may go on the end of each one of the rows, or you may have to skip one row, meaning at the end of the row, and you just want to keep it so it's looking consistent, just like so, and the tops should look very consistent to the other ones here. So just keep on moving down, and when you get to the last stitch, I will see there in just a moment, and we'll turn and then come back down the other side. So continuing on right to the end of the side, coming into the very last stitch right where we started, we're going to do 3 single crochet. Noticing I'm just kind of wrapping that, and it's going to get stuck underneath. So 3 single crochet in the first one of the group of 5, and then we're going to continue to single crochet across, and in the last one we have to put 3 single crochet there to make the next turn. And then continue down this side, evenly spacing, just like you did on the other side. Okay, so it just looks pretty consistent. I'll see you at the end of the round in a moment. So I'm coming all the way back around. The color actually didn't really change much, going around the whole thing, which is actually, I like better, but that was just a fluke, so that's not a planned thing. So I had you put 2 into the first one, so just put in 1 single crochet into the same first one, and I'm going to use a joining technique that will help it to hide better. So I'm going to not join it with a slip stitch. I'm going to pull out and put this onto a tapestry needle. And what I'm going to do is put the needle through the first single crochet from back to front, and right where this is coming out of this stitch right here, go back in and favor the back side of the strap. And what you're doing is you're causing this to create a look that will look more consistent. So you pull it in the distance that everything else seems to be, and then turn it over and then secure it on the back side, just how I showed you before. So back and forth a total of 3 times, and take your time and get that done, and I'll be right back. So let's get ready to sew on the straps. You always know that when you slip stitch, it creates a little line effect. So maybe make that as the side, like this, so that the bag handle will cover that. Okay, on this side. So it's going to be over a grouping of one of these, and that's where you're going to start. So you want to come underneath, see these holes? You want to come roughly around there. And I'm just going to, I've already woven this end in. Let me just get rid of that. And I'm just going to use a spare tapestry needle just to hold it into position. Okay, so it's approximately right there. And have the right side facing out. Okay, see how it's pulling towards me? This is the right side, and just coming in here. So I'm coming just right down below. I don't want to interfere with those chain spaces. Okay, so just coming on down. Okay, and then coming exactly to the opposite of where this is on the other side. So just open this up, make sure there's no weird twist to it, and coming down the other side. Okay, right there. Be a little meticulous about it, and then grab another tapestry needle, and you can just put it in and hold it. And if you want to do any adjustments, you can. What I would consider to do, it doesn't say to do this in the instructions, but what I would do is consider what you would like to do with this, this here. And what I would think about doing is actually start to weave it through. So leave the center of the bag here. So leave that open and just start working and pushing this through. The handle of the bag is going to capture there. We want to make sure that we do not get this tie stuck in between a stitch though once we sew this in. So I want to get it into position now. I'll have to weave in my ends later. And then back through. And I want to make sure there's no weird twist to it. So it's staying flat. And I'm going to weave this all the way through. And I'll be right back in a moment. So I've now woven in my tie. So when I go to sew this now, I want to make sure that I do not interfere with this tie. So when it goes over, and I want a nice secure join. So to do this, I am going to use another tapestry needle and use some strand. I happen to be making almost the same color. Put it onto the needle. And the other side, I want you to put a slip knot. Just a little one here. And start on the back side, coming through with the slip knot ready to go. So I'm gonna start just around the top here, and I'm gonna jump over top of this. So I'm just gonna stay towards the outside edge and then come in, but don't pull too far. You just want to get enough so that you can go back down into the stitch work again. Slightly different spots so that you can capture it. And when you put it through this time, put it through that tap or that slip knot and then pull on it. And what this is doing is that the yarn is going to tighten onto itself. Okay, so pull it tight. And now you can continue to go down through here. You're going to do with both sides here. So I'm going to go through. And when I go through now, see this line here, I want to not interfere with that. So I'm going to jump right over and then go down so that that is still flexible so it can still move. Okay, so that's not going to trap and hold that into position so it will never tighten on you. And once you have that done, you can continue to go around this as well. Okay. So you just be consistent of where you're sticking your hook, or sorry, your needle. You would think after 17 years of crochet that I know what a hook is verbally versus a needle. I still, after all these years, get messed up on that. Okay, so I'm just gonna follow this around. Okay, I'm gonna safely pull out my tapestry needle that was just holding it. This shouldn't go anywhere. So when I go through now, I want to make sure that I'm jumping over this tie. So when I come through on the other side, just come past it and then back in. And before you go too far, make sure this thing is still movable. And just for extra security, I am going to go across the top of this as well. So I am below the line of here. I just want to get it so that when I'm sewing it together, it looks like a square, even though you don't really see it here. So the yarn choice would make a difference. So you may want to, in your opinion, like you have a lot of yarn left over. So you may want to just pull yarn from the ball if it didn't have to happen to be the same color like mine did. And then once you're all the way around, you're going to turn it to the inside and secure. It is a handle, so you want to make sure that when you are doing everything, give it a good tug. Everything is still movable. Turn it to the inside of your bag. And I would literally tie it into a knot on this side. Just secure some strands here. Stay below the top line so you're not interfering with that. And this yarn is really thick and strong, so I'm going to tie it into a knot. You started with the slip knot, so you're good to go. And then just weave in your ends. And when you weave it through behind the handle, but don't go through to the front side of it. Stay on the back. It's already in a knot, so it will not come out on you. And just weave it back and forth a few times to get rid of it. And take that tail end that you started with and just weave it through as well. And you're going to want to do the same with the other side, same instruction. So please do the other side as well, and I'll be back in a moment. I just finished the other handle, and we have one more step to do before this is completely done. And we need to turn it to the front side of the project. They said to put a knot at the end of these about 1 inch in. So I'm just going to roughly guess it. Whatever my hands can do, I can do. And I think that's more aesthetic than anything. Just taking that, starting, and do both sides, obviously. Okay, and give it a good tug. And therefore, you have everything secured. You now have a tie at the top of your bag. And this is the Hoarder's Dragon bag. That's it for now. We hope you've enjoyed, and I'll see you again next time.